Ever feel like, your internal battery is just kind of stuck, like low power mode,
Oh,
just
yeah.
dragging yourself through the day?
Yeah,
I think we've all been there.
for sure.
And that's where we're diving into hanyang ruyi. It's a practice that promises to unlock like your energy potential.
Right.
And it's a form of medical Qi Gong. And just from the stuff you sent over, articles, testimonials, it seems pretty powerful.
It is fascinating. Hanyang Yi really focuses on cultivating and balancing your qi, that electromagnetic energy that flows through everything.
So less like a battery and more like we're plugged into a universal power source.
Okay.
We just need to learn how to access it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Medical Qi Gong, where hanyang ruyi comes from, is actually a branch of traditional Chinese medicine, and it really views this energy flow as like essential for well-being.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that connection. Like when I'm stressed, my energy just tanks.
Right.
But this course, we're looking at promises to teach us how to boost our energy and maybe even use it to help others with something they call the healing protocol.
The healing protocol is a more advanced aspect of hanyang ruyi, and it involves directing your qi to support another person's energy system.
Wow. So not just feeling energized ourselves, but learning to help others tap into their own energy potential too.
Right.
That's next level stuff. But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Okay.
let's talk about this hanyang ruyi system itself. We're looking at descriptions mentioning something called the Yijing Ba Shi. Does that ring a bell?
It does. That's an ancient Shaolin stretching syllabus. Many people associate Shaolin practices with like intense martial arts, but the Yijing Ba Shi is more about gently opening up the body.
That's really interesting. Like stretching, but with an energy component.
Yeah.
I've been hearing a lot about how important fascia is and how these kinds of movements can impact our energy channels.
Exactly. And it's not just about that high energy movement either. Hanyang Ruyi also emphasizes the importance of stillness.
Right, there's that yin aspect you mentioned.
Yeah.
I admit the idea of finding stillness through movement is intriguing.
It's a powerful practice, especially in our go-go-go world. Cultivating that inner stillness is essential.
Absolutely. So tell me more about this Master Dennis Wang. He's the instructor for the course you've been digging into, right?
Yes. Master Wang has devoted his life to practicing and teaching hanyang ruyi. He's considered an expert in the field.
And his students have reported some pretty incredible results. I was particularly struck by Paige L's story. She talked about how hanyang ruyi helped her overcome chronic pain from an old injury.
That's just one example of the many positive experiences his students have shared.
Another student, Carl Delva, said he felt a strange force cleansing his energy. I mean, who wouldn't want to experience that?
It's definitely fascinating. But it's important to remember that these are individual experiences and may not represent typical results.
Of course. While those stories are compelling, let's delve into the heart of hanyang ruyi. Master Wang talks about something called moving meditation. What exactly is that?
Moving meditation is about finding stillness through movement. It's like a bridge between the active and meditative aspects of the practice.
So almost like your mind needs to get a little tired of running around before it can settle into that quiet space.
Precisely. It's about preparing your mind for deeper meditation.
I like that. And speaking of finding stillness, Master Wang also mentioned something about it causing chemical reactions within the body. Is that literal, or is it more of a metaphorical way to describe the effects?
That's where things get really interesting. While more research is needed to understand the exact mechanisms, the idea that these ancient practices could be influencing our internal chemistry is fascinating, don't you think?
It really is.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that hanyang ruyi is about tapping into like a universal energy source.
Yeah.
Master Wang actually talks about this directly. He said, in hanyang, we don't use battery. We calling, we direct the qi from the universe to give it to you. It's quite a statement.
Yeah. It is a really powerful way to describe this like ancient concept. In a lot of traditions, there's this idea that we're not just isolated beings, but we're part of this larger web of energy.
Okay, so we're not just drawing on our own like internal energy reserves, but learning to access something much vaster.
Exactly. It's like we're learning to become conduits for this universal energy to flow through us.
And those Yijing Ba Shi stretches we talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not just about flexibility, but also about opening ourselves up to receive this energy more effectively.
Yeah. It's a beautiful way to think about it. Hanyang Ruyi addresses us as like whole beings, mind, body, and energy.
Which brings us back to moving meditation. Master Wang really emphasizes the importance of quieting the mind. Like he said, to learn hanyang, the first thing, the most important thing, is to arrest your mind from wandering.
Right.
For someone like me who struggles with meditation, the idea of finding that stillness through movement is really appealing.
Right. It's a different approach than like sitting still and trying to clear your mind all at once.
Right.
Moving meditation allows the body to be active while you gently guide your mind toward a state of presence.
You mentioned earlier that hanyang ruyi could help with more than just boosting energy, that it could even help others through the healing protocol.
Right.
That sounds incredibly intricate. Can you tell me more about how it works?
It's definitely a more advanced practice. Master Wang describes it as like a process of sensing and directing your qi to support another person's energy system. It's not just about sending good vibes,
Right.
but it's about understanding how to work with these really subtle energies in a way that is both safe and effective.
He compared it to starting a car,
Right.
finding the right point of access.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned working with meridians. What exactly are those?
Meridians are channels of energy that run throughout the body according to traditional Chinese medicine. They're like pathways that qi flows through.
Okay.
The healing protocol focuses on clearing any like blockages in these meridians.
So is it like acupuncture, but instead of needles, you're using your own energy?
In a way, yes. But instead of physical needles, the practitioner uses their intention and focused qi to help restore balance within the recipient's energy system.
That's amazing. And a little bit intimidating, to be honest. He also talked about macro and micro orbits. What are those?
Those are two primary energy channels that are essential for circulating qi throughout the body. They're like the main highways of the energy system.
So if I'm picturing this correctly, the healing protocol involves specific movements, breathing techniques, and focusing your intention to guide energy through these pathways.
You've got it. It's a very nuanced practice that takes time and dedication to learn. Master Wang really emphasizes the importance of proper training and guidance.
That makes sense. It's not something you can just pick up from a book, I imagine.
Exactly. It requires a deep understanding of the body's energy system and the ability to sense and manipulate qi.
Well, I have to say, my curiosity is officially piqued. We've covered a lot of ground here.
Right.
Ancient stretches, moving meditation, even the potential to heal others with energy.
It's a lot.
To take in.
It is a lot, and we've only just scratched the surface.
We were talking about the science behind hanyang ruyi.
Right.
Specifically, Master Wang's mention of chemical reactions happening in the body through stillness.
Okay.
Have you come across any research that, backs this up?
It's definitely an area that's, ripe for exploration. While there aren't, mountains of studies specifically on hanyang ruyi, yet there's a growing body of research on how practices like Qi Gong and meditation can create physiological changes.
It's probably measurable biological shifts.
Right.
Not just feeling more zen.
Exactly. For example, studies have shown that meditation can alter brainwave patterns and even influence stress hormones like cortisol. We're starting to map the connections between what we used to consider purely mental states and their very real impact on the body.
That makes sense. We've all felt that mind-body connection. Stress can lead to muscle tension, headaches, even digestive issues. It's like our bodies keep score even when we're not paying attention.
Precisely. And if negative emotional states can create those blockages, it stands to reason that practices like hanyang ruyi, with its emphasis on stillness-focused breathing and cultivating qi, could potentially help to undo those blockages and create a more harmonious internal environment.
It's like we're taking an active role in our own well-being rather than just being at the mercy of external factors.
That's a great way to put it. And this ties back to the core concept of qi itself, this vital energy that flows through us and connects us to everything around us.
We're not isolated islands, but part of a larger web of energy.
And hanyang ruyi provides tools and techniques to tap into that interconnectedness to become more attuned to the flow of energy within and around us.
It's almost as if by cultivating our own energy and finding that inner stillness, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities.
Yeah.
Not just for healing, but for experiencing life more fully.
That's a beautiful way to frame it. And perhaps that's the most exciting aspect of exploring these ancient practices, the invitation to discover our own potential for healing, growth, and connection.
It's been quite a journey exploring hanyang ruyi. We've covered ancient stretches, the power of stillness, even the potential to use energy to help others. For our listener who's feeling that spark of curiosity, Where would you recommend they go from here?
I'd say dive in. Explore Master Dennis Wang's teachings. Maybe even try some beginner Qi Gong exercises. See how it feels in your body. Trust your intuition. You'll know if this is a path you want to explore further.
And remember, just like in this deep dive, approach any new practice with a healthy balance of openness and discernment.
Absolutely. And who knows, this could be the beginning of a fascinating journey for you, a journey into the world of energy work and the incredible potential that lies within each of us.
What a thought to leave us with. This has been a deep dive into hanyang ruyi,
Yeah.
a practice that invites us to tap into our own energy potential and connect with the vital force that flows through all things. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.